everybody, Lindsay Adler here, and today I'm going to show you how to create a natural light commercial beauty setup. So here's the deal. In the world of commercial beauty photography, you really see the imagery go in one of two directions. In one direction, there's a lot of lighting, a lot of retouching, a lot of makeup, it's a lot of pop. And then the other direction, it's supernatural. So you'll see natural lighting, really natural soft expressions, natural makeup, and it'll definitely be really natural retouching. So today what I want to show you is a foolproof outdoor lighting setup that'll be great for those more natural beauty lighting setups. So let's go. All right, so to get the nice clean shot that you often want in a commercial beauty look is we put a white V-flat, world V-flat behind our subject. Now it is an open sky, open shade situation. So what that means is it's actually a sunny day, but we're standing in the shade cast by a building. Now what's nice about that is that the light is kind of omnidirectional. It's really, really soft. The actual light source is the open sky from above. Now that's great for the skin, but one thing we may want to do is add a little bit of reflection from below. And the reason being is if the light source is from above, of course, we'll get a little bit of shadow in the eye. A white reflector will give us just even, soft, creamy, smooth skin all the way across, which is going to be perfect for a shot like this where we're going more for a fresh skincare ad in the look of our image. Now, one of the things I want to warn you about is if this is meant to be a commercial beauty shot all about skin, that skin better look great. Now, one of the things I recommend is that you take a picture of a color checker to make sure that you're getting accurate white balance. But if you don't do that, one of the things you want to check is that you are not on auto white balance. It will mess it up. Because what will happen is the auto white balance will read the warmth of her skin against the white background. It says, oh, it's warm, and it'll cool it down, and her skin is going to look kind of blue-gray. All right, so for these images, I'm going to use my Canon R5. One of the reasons why is because it has so many megapixels that if I need to crop in for closer beauty tight shots, maybe just part of the face, well, I have the extra information to do that. Now there's two lenses that I'm going to use in this instance. I'm going to use an 85 1.2 because of course it's great for nice tight headshots, but I'm also going to experiment a little bit with a 50 1.2. Sometimes having that a little bit wider of a focal length actually makes it look a little bit more intimate, like you're closer up to that subject. So it's a fun one I'd like to play with. Now, if I were trying to get even more macro, like just her eye, then I would grab a macro lens, but in this case, I'm going kind of for her whole face. And it is great to work with a model that knows how to work their expressions to give you a range. And so the way that I want to direct her in this instance is I want fresh, playful, clean, natural, happy, and upbeat, because of course, that's what matches both the lighting and the makeup. Now, the reason that I have her sitting on the floor is because she is much taller than me. And although I often like to shoot at lower angles, sometimes when I want to really connect with the subject's emotions, I like to be able to get to eye level or a little bit higher. So sitting on the floor, I can sit down there with her, or I can slightly vary my angle up and down, and it's going to give me a variety of compositions. This is going to be like nice and commercial and fresh, like Glossier. I feel like you've probably done a campaign for them. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is way too easy. What? A little bit, and the reason I've selected this location is because I am actually going to be lighting my subject, breaking a bunch of different rules. All right, so here's what we got going on. First of all, I have direct sunlight hitting her, but it is a little bit later in the day. Now, when you're working with good makeup, good retouching, and a beautiful model, sometimes the sun is it's just perfect. It's so natural, and it gives you that fresh, sunny, summery feel that you're not going to get if you're just using always soft light sources and shade. So that's great. That's rule number one that we're breaking. But rule number two is we're actually going to use a little bit of dappled light. So I have placed her underneath the scaffold, and we have all of these handrails and these bars and all of these things that are actually casting shadows on the background as well as the subject herself. But what's cool is it adds a little bit of texture, a little bit of interest to the lighting. So it actually makes it look like there's a little bit of story being told rather than it being perfectly lit. And perfectly lit is more for that fantasy high retouch realm. So let's maybe go for something that looks a little bit more real. You'll see lighting like this all the time in those more natural skincare brands. Now, I put a white V-flat behind her, hit by the sun, but I made sure it had some shadows on it, gives it a little bit of texture. And I may or may not add a little bit of silver reflection. Sometimes that silver reflector will just put a little bit of catch light in the eyes when it's not there, but I know that I'm gonna keep that warm white balance. Rule number 3 that we were breaking, usually with white balance, in this case, you would say, oh, it's sunny, I better shoot on a sunny white balance. We're actually going to keep it in shade because it's going to really warm it up and give us that summery look. All right. Ready? Okay, so I'm gonna have you probably just lean forward. I'm gonna try to find where that shadow is. Okay, so right there. So now the shadow's across your forehead. Perfect. So let's give me little hands in there, and then you bring the reflector back. A little less reflection, just a little bit. Good. Good. That's perfect. Do the chin up again like that. And give me the hand maybe soft around here. Beautiful. Perfect. I love both of these setups, and honestly, I could see them as ad campaigns for several of the brands. In fact, I've shot images like this for commercial advertising shoots. So here's the thing that I want you to keep in mind. Sometimes more isn't more. Sometimes simple makeup, simple lighting, and minimal retouching can actually do the trick, and that's why I think these images really sing. So if you want to see the gear that I used in the making of these images, be sure to check out the links in the description below and visit adorama.com. And of course, you'll definitely want to subscribe because I have a lot more content coming your way. See you next time, guys.